In League of Legends, the jungle role controls the pace of the early game. In competitive, it's no different, but for a spectator, it can be hard to recognize all the little things a jungler is doing and how impactful his early actions are. For roles like mid or top, one can look at experience or CS leads to judge performance. For jungle, the intricacies of the role make it hard to figure out who is actually impacting the game and who looks good simply because their laners are doing well by themselves. One hallmark of a good jungler is his pathing, how he decides on what camps to clear and in what order, and it isn't always about maximizing experience efficiency. A good jungler will adapt his jungle route depending on a number of factors, such as the strength of the jungle matchup, which lanes he needs to get rolling or help support, and predicting where the enemy team will focus. Knowing how to best gank a lane, how to avoid common ward spots, and how lane matchups play out are also super important. Last but not least, they need to have the raw mechanical skill to fully utilize the full potential of their champion. Everything is connected, which is why good junglers are rare and highly coveted. Team Envious's LirA is considered by many as one of the best junglers in North America. But aside from being a very strong mechanical player, what makes him so special? Envy is number 1 in the league and gold at 15, and it's partially because LirA works intelligently to give his team advantages in the early game. His synergy with Hakuho makes for strong early game vision, but more importantly, LirA is constantly adjusting his pathing based on his lanes and opponents. He's unpredictable and dangerously aware, and to see why, let's pull apart his play in Week 6 of the NALCS. Think you know who the best players are? Put your analysis to the test at DraftKings. Draft your own LCS team, win cash, and use the Blitz link for a free bonus play and a chance to win RP. In Game 1 of C9 vs Envy, LirA had to play Gragas against Contract's Elise, a matchup that favors the Spider Queen. Elise has the damage to burst Gragas down, can reliably stun him if he tries to engage with Body Slam, and can dodge barrels with Repel. If Gragas ever meets Elise in the jungle by himself, he's going to have a bad time. So LirA needs to play this matchup cautiously to ensure he doesn't get invaded and fall behind. If Envy can get through the early game on equal footing, Gragas will naturally be a bigger threat than Elise in teamfights. In this game, Cloud9 wants to get Renekton ahead. He has a favorable matchup against Shen and can snowball easily when ahead. Not to mention that between Elise and Renekton, there's plenty of crowd control and damage to go for a tower dive and get out unscathed. Envy knows this and adapts accordingly for it. At the start, Seraph places a very late ward at Cloud9's blue buff, and LirA chooses to start his jungle clear from bot to top. At 210, the ward spots Contracts doing his blue, which gives away the impending topside aggression. Contracts will either invade Envy's red or gank top. Meanwhile, LirA also makes it to the top side of the jungle. Instead of directly going to his red, he wards it and does his raptors first. LirA is adapting his clear because of the potential invade coming from Contracts. By doing raptors first, he can hit level 3 and be better prepared against Elise's invade. However, neither he nor the ward ends up spotting Contracts, so Envy knows that the top lane gank is likely C9's play. Sure enough, Contracts attempts to dive Shen, but safe positioning and a good flash by Seraph stops the play. LirA also shows up to prevent any further aggression. Shen is now safe. The next series of events showcases one of the most important qualities of a good jungler, the ability to track the whereabouts of your enemy. When Contracts attempted the dive, he showed himself to Envy and thus revealed his CS numbers. Knowing your enemy jungler's CS allows you to pretty reliably guess which camps he's done and predict accordingly where he'll go next. After the dive, Contracts leaves vision with 15 CS. LirA knows that Contracts stole some of his Krugs as he saw the 2 minis still up. Contracts was also seen with both red and blue buff, plus he ganked top lane relatively early. The timing and CS numbers allow Envy to deduce that he had cleared both red and blue buff most of Envy's Krugs and also 5 of his small raptors. Equipped with this information, Envy knows that the next camp's Contracts will likely be clearing are his Gromp and Wolves. Envy, likely LirA himself, pings them and starts setting up for a counter move. A good jungler can figure out where the enemy is, but a great jungler will take advantage of that information. And of course, part of that is coordinating with the rest of the team. This is a team game after all. With contracts on the top side of the map, Apollo and Hakuho quickly push in the bot lane using Xayah's AoE Feather mechanic and her attack speed steroid and freely roam into the enemy jungle to place down vision. They also take out the Blast Cone and use the Scryer's Bloom to scout any additional information. From this point onward, both the bot lane duo and also Niski, who also has lane priority in his matchup against Corki, continue to push their lanes. This, plus the vision set up earlier, allows LirA to confidently move into Contract's bot jungle to ward and even turns the matchup on its head. He is able to become the aggressor and steals camps from his opponent. With the ward placed earlier by Hakuho, he spots Contracts at Krugs, body slams in to steal them, and then gets out with a Thresh Lantern. This may not seem like much, but the early experience is crucial. But that's not all that results from this setup. You can see that as the game plays out, LirA has constant vision of the Raptor bush because of the ward he was able to place from the earlier invade. That ward eventually spots Contracts heading for his red. With help from Niski, LirA casually steals away the red, takes his Raptors as well, and ends up hitting level 6 first. Finally, he is then able to find an opening to gank bot lane and grab first blood for Envy. In this one game, LirA showed why he's so highly praised. He understood his losing jungle matchup, knew where Contracts was likely to focus, and pathed accordingly. He, along with the rest of Envy, took advantage of Contract's path using lane pressure, vision, and CS tracking. From there, LirA played around his winning lanes, invading Cloud9's bot side jungle. All in all, it resulted in an experience lead, stronger map pressure, and even first blood in what was supposed to be a losing jungle matchup. Think you know who the best players are? Put your analysis to the test at DraftKings. Draft your own LCS team, win cash, and use the Blitz link for a free bonus play and a chance to win RP.